Hello, welcome to the stream. My name is Milo. Today I'm playing games from the 1980s that use a certain trope for their main characters, and that trope is mother animals protecting their babies and their young. So this is something that I think you can identify in a lot of different fiction, but yeah, we're going to be looking at a few games that use that today, and we'll probably go through them in pretty quick succession. We're starting out with a few arcade games. So this is Kangaroo. It's quite famous, I think. At least it's one of those very early platform games. Very much kind of following in the footsteps of Donkey Kong. And not quite achieving the same level of success. But yeah, see if we can have some fun with it, get to know a nice kangaroo or two. Okay, I think we're all set up here, so let's insert some coins, tokens, etc. Let's challenge. Okay, we get a nice little cutscene here at the start. Kangaroos meeting their children. I don't know if those are all different kangaroos or whether it's the same one separated in time through some abstract representation, but anyway. Yeah, so here we are, where a mother kangaroo called, well, I don't know if she's given a name in the game, but this is one of the properties that was adapted to the cartoon show Saturday Supercade, which took a lot of arcade classics and, well, at the time they were just highly successful and popular games that were all the rage. I tried to jump the apple, but I missed. And the Saturday Supercade segment for Kangaroo gave the kangaroo, the main kangaroo, the name Katie, and her little Joey is called Joey, appropriately enough. Yeah, I don't know why the Joey appears to be wearing a blindfold. But I can tell you that the mother kangaroo has boxing gloves and also a bow tie. Although she's stated to be female. Female marsupials are the ones with pouches, so I think you can sort of see a pouch on her sprite there, although it's a bit hard to tell. But yeah, the males do not have the pouch, I believe. They have an interesting life cycle where the babies are born very small. If it was any other animal, you'd think that they're very, either stillborn or just really premature and underdeveloped. But that's the way it is. And then they have part of their gestation is sort of external, where they have this pouch that the baby continues development in. Not so. Okay, so as you'll notice during gameplay here, the music that's playing is oh gosh, it's sort of public domain music, either folk tunes or classical songs, things that are well known and available for use. That happened a lot with early games. You can see it in Mario Brothers. Yeah, that's one. There's a million others, but fill that in yourself. The jingle when the bell plays as well is also a yeah, just a public domain song. I recognize it. It's the sort of thing that a school would have as their bell or something. I don't know what the bell does in this game though. Let's ring it and see what happens. Well, a fruit appeared. Maybe it brings all the fruit back. Yeah, okay, that might be it. For you to get some bonus points. Dang. So the trope of the boxing kangaroo is in full play here. We can see that our kangaroo character has boxing gloves and is able to use them to punch out the monkeys. The nasty little monkeys. Now, there's no real way in nature that a kangaroo would be interacting with monkeys. Maybe if there were possums or numbats or something. There's lots of native species of tree-dwelling creatures. But this is also covered in the cartoon, actually, the Saturday Supercade, where in the presentation of the show, all these animals are living in a zoo, and there's a zookeeper called Mr. Friendly who, you know, that's how they're setting it up. The zookeepers are the good guys, I guess. And the bad guys were a gang of 4 monkeys called the Monkey Biz Gang, and they had their own names. I didn't write what they were, but that was like Dingo, Dongo, and Dango, and whatever, and Phil or something, you know, that kind of cartoon stuff. And the monkeys are always trying to escape from the zoo, and Katie and Joey, being good law-abiding, you know, captives of the zoo, tried to stop them and keep the status quo going on. So there we go, we finally cleared stage 1, and now we'll move on to a different level layout. I believe there's 4 in total, just like Donkey Kong, and yeah, we can easily jump over those apples as long as we've got our wits about us. So yeah, it's very much in the single screen platformer Donkey Kong mold, although Katie is different to Mario in that she has an attack whenever she wants, unlike Mario having to pick up a hammer. There's also a lot of dithering going on screen to give more detailed environments. Dang it. Once I started climbing that ladder, I was doomed from that apple. Let's see. Oh, nuts. Oh yeah, they also had a friend called Sydney the Squirrel in the show, who I don't think appears in this game. Man, having trouble here. I wonder if I can insert some more coins. That won't help. I think it'll kick me back to the first level if I lose my lives, of course. Yeah, I noticed a bit of sprite flickering whenever things happen to overlap. It's just an unfortunate side effect of the technology at the time. I think in other ways, the game's pretty ambitious graphically, what with the detail of the graphics. And yeah, they've achieved some of that with the dithering, as I said, which is where you can see sort of alternating vertical lines along, especially the tree, which are black. So it's not a solid colour. And on the monkeys too, actually, they alternate between that light pink colour and a darker colour. Oops. Yep. As with Donkey Kong, you can't fall more than basically your character's height without dying immediately. Although again, Katie herself has a large detailed character sprite with a few different colours on it. That's nice. By the way, this game was 1982. I don't think I mentioned that. It was developed by Sunsoft, who, of course... Oh, I could have sworn I'd gotten past that, but yeah. It's almost there. I wonder if I can direct my punch. Yeah, it seems to just have the one punching sprite. You just gotta watch the monkeys. They're gonna throw those apples across the whole screen. Yeah, so Sunsoft made the game originally in Japan. Oh boy, that's a big gorilla. What happened there? Oh, are you serious? I didn't even fall half my character's height that time. Did you see I kind of just fell off a tiny ledge and... Oh, wow. That's really thrown me. Wow. Yeah, cool. Yeah. So, what was I talking about? So Sunsoft made the game. They've made tons of stuff, like, although I cannot think of a single one off the top of my head. Sunsoft. Did they do Sinistar? I don't know. Whatever. They've done a ton of games. They're a very long-standing Japanese developer. For the distribution of the arcade game, I think internationally, Atari handled the distribution. I said that already. And yeah, Atari also did lots of ports for the game. I'm going to see what happens if I ring this bell and then grab the fruit. Because that's got to be for a reason, right? You can tell my bonus counter is ticking down. Ah, the boxing gorillas appeared. It's interesting, giving me a rival boxer in the form of another ape. Although it's not a gorilla, I can see now that it has a tail out the back, so that's a feature of monkeys, not apes. And it seems to steal something from me. Oh, did it steal my gloves and then I lost them? But I got them back now. Ooh, watch it. Yeah, it's stolen my gloves and now I have bare hands. And if I try to punch, I just have a white flag. So the monkey over there has removed my ability to attack. That's really interesting. Oh yeah, I've got 2 lying down sprites. There's a sound effect that accompanies that too. Where she'll poke her head up a little bit. Ugh. This guy's too quick for me. Oh boy. How do I get them back? They just seem to appear after a time. No. Yeah, so that big monkey punching me just takes my gloves away. It doesn't actually do damage and kill me, whereas a rotten apple or an eaten apple, like just a core falling on my head, will kill me, as denoted by the halo. There's some game logic for you. There's no one watching right now, but do let me know if the volume is okay. I think the game volume's a little low compared to my voice. But yeah, you're not really missing much. Here, I'll ring the bell again. You serious? That bouncing core. That's ridiculous. Mutual destruction. So yeah, this game got a lot of ports on Atari consoles, you know, the Succession, the 2600, and the... Actually, I didn't write down exactly what consoles got ports, but a bunch of them did. I think 8-bit did, and a couple other ones. VCS maybe, which I think is another name for the 2600. Yeah, anyway. So there's a separate soundtrack when I'm climbing a ladder, and then it switches back to the main one when I get to the top. But golly gosh, this game is difficult. I'm trying to at least get to level 3, but we might have to stop this game soon and move on to the next one. As you can see from the cover art, I have arranged around the screen. That's all the games that I'm planning to play today. The Japanese flyer for this game can be seen in the top left corner, where you have a realistically drawn kangaroo. Yes, with the boxing gloves. Can you tell if there's a bow tie on it? I actually adjusted the... Ugh, damn it. I adjusted the pictures to make them a bit duller, because in their original presentation they were quite distracting from the gameplay in the middle, because they're all bright colors clashing and stuff. So I put a filter over all of those images to darken them up. That took a while. Anyway, I don't know if... Yeah, I can't tell, but in another version of the flyer, maybe for the American market or the UK market, the kangaroo, the main kangaroo, has a more cartoonish look, and you can see that bow tie clearly. Although it's pretty clear, more or less clear on the sprite itself. Alright, let's please try and get through round 2 this time, at least. This game doesn't have boss fights or anything. Oh, that was close. But I'd at least like to see another level, maybe. Oh, well, that's game over. Well, that's 15 minutes, so why don't we move on then? Oh, actually, yeah, the interesting thing about that game, there were rumors that there was going to be a port to the NES and that Satoru Iwata had worked on it, but there's zero evidence for that. Yep, that's it. I think the Saturday Supercade is one of the more interesting outcomes from that game. Alright. Let me set up the next game for you here. You'll be able to see its flyer on the bottom left corner. Oh, hang on. We got some issues here. I'll restart the software. All good. This time I am using the MAME core inside OpenEMU, whereas before I'd been using the native MAME app so that I would have access to the dip switches easier and stuff. But the advantage to OpenEMU is that I have native controller support, which is very nice. Okay, I just need to change the display thingy to that one, and we should be good to go. Yeah, okay, so the next game on the docket is Pooyan, which is a game by Konami in the arcade, also from 1982. And instead of a platformer, it's sort of a shooter, but it's got a fun little twist here that we'll see when we start. So yeah, Pooyan, one player only, first bonus after 50,000 points, and bonus every 80,000 points. Konami 1982. So Pooyan. Oh, there's a cutscene. That's lovely. One day in the forest. Nice detailed graphics. Even more detailed than Kangaroo. Actually, I was praising Kangaroo, but look at this. This is beautiful. I can't believe I was speaking so highly of Kangaroo. Boom. Oh, there we go. So the idea of this one is you are Mama Pig and you're protecting your baby piglets. Oh, hi Gibbon. He's turned up a bit late because Twitch didn't notify him. That's too bad. I hate when it does that. You've missed the first game, which was Kangaroo, which shared a segment on Saturday Supercade with Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. But yeah, the theme today is Mother Animals. Games where you're playing as an animal who has to protect her babies from whatever it is. In Kangaroo, it was some mischievous monkeys, I guess. In this game, it's wolves coming to eat your little piglets. Yeah, given saying Kangaroo is a good arcade game. So, yeah, we have a bow and arrow attached to a little gondola thing here. It's a strange little setup, but yeah. Pooyan, Mama Pig is able to shoot arrows at the wolves who are coming for her babies. Oops! And they throw rocks back at you, of course, which can knock you down. So the pigs at the bottom are called Pooyan, and the pigs at the top who are manning or using the winch or whatever to move my little sky car. What do you call that thing? It's like a bucket on a string, basically, on a rope. Anyway, the pigs at the top are called Pooyan, and the bottom ones are Pooyan. I don't know what the distinction really means, but yeah, that was it. We're gonna try again, because there are multiple levels in this as well with different layouts. And yeah, Mama, help! So some of them have already been taken, so I wonder if they've already been eaten. Oh no. Okay, they're going to test the fire alarm in my building right now. There'll be a short sound, but hopefully it won't be too disruptive. No action is required. Not like... I don't think I've ever had an actual fire alarm on the stream, but we're actually cat-sitting now again, as you would have heard last week. So that's always a bother. You got to get the cat into the cat box and take her outside, and she's very distressed. Getting some screen flickering. I wonder if that's a... yeah, I wonder if that's a feature of the game or not. It'll be over soon. Those rocks. Yeah, it did much worse that time. Chuck a few credits in. I'm a rich boy. So yeah, this game was quite successful for Konami. So successful that it actually got a few ports. And not just ports, but clones, unofficial clones of people taking the concept and copying it. Which is a sign of success. Imitation, of course, being the sincerest form of flattery, according to the old saw. Ugh, you wolf jerks. Now, I believe that counter in the upper left will tell me how many are still to come until I've cleared this level, right? Yeah, so they can block your shot if you hit them in the body, but you hit the balloon and then they'll fall to the ground. But sometimes they can block you even... I don't know why they can block you. Are they holding the balloon string or something else? But yeah, if you let too many of them through, they progressively climb this ladder on the right until they get to the top. Ah, sorry about the screen flickering, this is terrible. Gibbon says he's never seen this before. That's interesting. I mean, I'd never heard of it until I did the research. But then I also recently was playing the Konami Picross game on iOS, which is called Konami Puzzle Collection. Oh no, I didn't notice, but the wolves on the right that are on the ladder can actually lean out and attack you. Oh, that's brutal. Well, luckily the wolf count has carried over, so I've only got a few more to deal with until I clear this level. And yeah, a few sprites from this game have been turned into puzzles for that that Picross type game that Konami put out. Oh, I see that there's smaller ones and bigger ones. I guess the bigger ones can help you there with the winch pulling, but the smaller ones are sort of helpless. Oh, I see. Okay. They're going to push a boulder along until it falls on me. And now we're dealing with stronger balloons that take 2 hits. But we still have a meat that sometimes spawns that can take out multiple things. And the yellow balloon is also faster! Oh, this is brutal. Okay, the meat's back. Let's use it. Wow! Oh no, I missed one. Nuts. Oh, seriously? 3 hits? Or some of them took 3 hits. The wolf had a fun little distressed sprite there on his little red balloon. Oh, come on. Yeah, I don't know why balloons of the same color sometimes take less hits. I don't know. Fewer hits. Anyway, as I was saying, this game did get cloned and stuff a few times. There was one called Pooyan, which is a very blatant, slight renaming. But it also had... there were also games such as Outback, which had animals changed to being Australian type animals for the setting, and also Pigs in Space, which had a big UFO, and I guess aliens instead of wolves or something. And oh, those were both on the Commodore 64. Now, I haven't really noticed much music in this, but apparently, as with Kangaroo, among other games, this uses public domain jingles and stuff, or so I read, for the music. Given saying it might matter, or it appears to matter, how close to the center I hit the balloon, so that could be why it's taking more or less hits. Okay, so that was the bonus stage where I could only throw meat, but it gave me lots of it. And we're back at the first layout, so there might only be 2 stage layouts, but there's some added wrinkles I see here with some fruit I don't know what that did, but they're not doing it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the pink wolf is dropping fruit, which might block my shots and make it a bit more difficult to hit these other wolves. So we're gonna get wrinkles like that happening. And I must say, I do like in an arcade game when increased difficulty doesn't just mean giving the enemy more health or speeding them up, but it adds extra elements like this this other wolf dropping fruit. That's like a wrinkle that adds to the complexity and the interest. I can hear another alarm. They must be testing the other tower system as well. Okay, so yeah, I did much better that time, and we got through a cycle of the 2 stages. Oh yeah, this game also got a manga adaptation apparently in Koro Koro comic magazine, and it was referenced in a later Konami video game, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, where there was a Pooyan like minigame side op, where Big Boss, or what is he called in Peace Walker? Boss Snake something, I don't know. Yeah, you have to shoot balloons or Fulton recovery devices, and they reused sound effects from this game apparently. So that's a cute little reference from another game that involves shooting balloons. Okay, I think we're done with that one. So, and the screen flickering is making me disappointed. So, okay. We'll round out our arcade era here. I mean, these are all from the same era, early 80s and stuff, but what we're going to go to next is a Sega game this time. Hold on a tick. Bear with me. Okay. Change over. Alright, here we are. So yeah, this is Flicky. So let's just reset that. Cool. So this is Sega's game Flicky, which yeah, it was pretty successful. It got a ton of ports. Flicky also continued into Sega's successful Sonic the Hedgehog series. You rescue animals in Sonic, at least some of the games, and Flicky appeared as one of the animals that was inside Robotnik's Badniks. And I believe it was named as such. But in this game, Flicky is a singular character, a mother bird who has to find all her little chicks around a level and stop them from being eaten by cats. Flicky. So yeah, this is probably the biggest name or the most successful game that I'm playing today. Everything else is pretty obscure. I mean, Kangaroo is probably pretty well known. But anyway, this is the original arcade version. It was actually ported to the Mega Drive, which is where I played it because... oops, I've already dropped one off. Yeah, the best way to get a bunch of points in this game is to gather all the chicks and then go for the exit. And it'll add up like so. So it'll multiply up and you'll get a much better score. So I played this game through the Sega Mega Drive collection, and there's like, you know, a dozen different such collections, but this was the one that was released on PS2 and PSP, so I had it on PSP. I bought it pretty recently. Oh yeah, there we go. So I get knocked out, and the chicks who in the intro were called Pio Pio, which is, I guess, kind of an onomatopoeic designation, kind of. They'll stay in the same place they were when they died, when I died. But yeah, if a cat manages to hit your chain of chicks, it'll knock out some of them, so you got to watch out for that. And that's the downside to having a long chain. It's a trade-off. You'll get more points, but they're more vulnerable. Yeah, so I played. It was on this Mega Drive collection thing, and there was an optional, or there was sort of a bonus goal in the game that if you got up to, what was it, 10,000, might have been 100,000, I don't know. I think it's 100,000 points, then you unlock like an extra bonus game in the extras mode, which in that case would be like a Master System game or an arcade game by Sega. I don't remember what this unlocked, but yeah, the key to getting that high score is to get the chain of chicks before going to the exit. Oh, yeah, you might notice as well that although the screen's freely scrolling back and forth, it's actually quite a small room, and as soon as something scrolls off the right, it appears on the left pretty much straight away. So I always wondered why they didn't just have the screen fixed and have you appear at the other side, because to be honest I find it really disorienting to have a setup like this where, whoops, okay, so I lost my flower pot there because I was facing the wrong way when I let it off. Yeah, I find it very disorienting because it appears that you're making progress, and it's just a big cognitive dissonance thing, really. Anyway, gonna wait for this cat to come down and then pop. Okay. I also have kind of a late jump. I can... well, I was gonna say I can make that jump a bit later than I think I should be able to, but not too late, because then you'll just fall down. But I can do a little roundabout like that. Yeah, so yeah, it controls really well. This game is a little bit later than the two I've just played. It's from 1984. And you can tell that they've had a couple of years to improve the technology, and of course I think Sega had good arcade machines, of course, to work with. Yeah, but you'll get these little items on each level that you can throw at the naughty cats. Yes. That's actually something that's missing from the more recent Mega Drive collections that Sega's put out. The cat came out of that duct or that oven or whatever it was. I should have noticed, because they have the flashing eyes appear before they pop out. Yeah, so these bonus games, they don't do that anymore. Their most recent Mega Drive collection is just Mega Drive games, and it doesn't have the museum gallery and the bonus unlockable games and stuff. It's a shame. On top of it, you know, missing the Echo the Dolphin games and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is all down to rights issues apparently. It's a big shame. Anyway, maybe I should have played the 1991 port, but actually that would be outside my nominated remit of these games all being from the 80s. Yeah, the port was in 1991. Pop. Yeah, got him. But I think it looks better, which is only natural. And yeah, I checked the dates for that. Sonic the Hedgehog was originally released in late 1991, and because of that connection where Flicky appears in Sonic as a rescuable kind of character, I want to say, but not really character, because they're just sort of animal drones that multiple ones of them appear all through the game. But anyway, the Mega Drive port of Flicky did actually predate Sonic 1 by a few months. So we had little trumpets appearing there. I can't really tell what these are supposed to be. Something yellow. And this one has a different expression. And it's got little sunglasses! Oh, that's adorable. And the sunglasses ones appear to have different behavior. Okay, this is a really interesting wrinkle here. They're running around instead of just milling in the one spot where they were knocked down. Interesting. Well, let's get going. Let's see if the Shades chick is worth more. But yeah, we're gonna get hit there. Ouch. I've already dropped some off. Because they're right in front of the door. Alright, there we go. We're still getting quite a bit of screen flicking, which is a real shame. Also, I noticed that on my art frame setup down there, that I've actually cut off the flyer for Flicky, which was visible on the inner right of the screen of the gameplay there. When they're facing the screen, it's really kind of hard to tell that they're wearing sunglasses. It looks odd. Anyway, the flyer for Flicky isn't that exciting, but it's unfortunately being cut off there. We'll do another round. So there's a bit more insight and scrutiny on this game, considering that it was made by Sega, who is a bigger name company. So we have some insight into the development, and apparently before they'd settled on the name Flicky as the final title, they were thinking of calling it Busty or possibly Flippy. Now I don't think Flippy is really appropriate because the screen scrolling is not flip screen, it's nasty cats. Didn't have any hammers at the bottom. I was trying to go for one. You know what, the screen scrolling, you know what it actually reminds me of? So the original Kid Icarus on NES had, like, at least the first few stage variations were very vertically oriented, and when you pass out one side of the screen you come immediately in on the other and you ascend that way. I didn't really get far enough in the game to see if that changes further on, but what I do remember is trying out the Game Boy sequel a little bit, which is called Of Myths and Monsters, and it has this screen flipping mechanic just like Flicky does, where you're moving upwards generally, but you can pass out the left and right. It's just like Flicky basically. You the screen scrolls, but the game space is it's so hard to explain, and it threw me off for so long because I had no idea how it worked, and it's really confusing until you realize what's happening. Let's try and knock these cats down. Take that. Oh, missed. That went very badly. But yeah, basically Kid Icarus 2 has the same problem. No, don't do that. Okay, just hop over, and then, yep. Oh, cool. No! Yes! Okay. Cool. Maximum points. 5,000 bonus! Woo! Woo. Yeah, so that's one reason I struggled with Kid Icarus and Myths and Monsters. It's on the Game Boy, all black and white. Ah, no problem. No problem at all. Let's see a new level, shall we? I think there's supposed to be 36 levels in this, or am I thinking of a different game? I did preparation, but since I've got like 7 different games, some of the details are running together if I didn't write them down. So on this level it's apples, and we see how they're changing up how the levels play by varying the layout of the platforms and such. Ah, more cats. Cats are a natural enemy in games, especially when you're playing as a small animal. Because cats are also the enemy in Mappy, where you're a mouse, and Choo Choo Rocket, where you're also a mouse. The flickering is just awful. I suppose it's appropriate for Flicky. Nope, that was way too early. Oh, no. The apple rebounded and hit the cat on the way back. Lovely. Okay, let's get the heck out of here. Ooh, a gem! Gimme gem. Shiny. Bonus points. Okay. No problem. So yeah, I only ever played the first couple of levels on the Mega Drive collection because that was enough to get that point milestone to unlock the extra stuff. Alright, we've got teapots here. Oof. Ah, game over. Alright, yep, that might be enough for that one. And the screen flickering is still, like, really distracting, so gonna move on and hope the performance improves. Oh yeah, Gibbon's saying that game has more depth than he knew about. Yeah, glad I can open your eyes to some classics. And I agree. So, next thing. Okay, you can see the half of the Flicky flyer there, by the way. On the right, you can see the bird itself. And there's a cat on the right side that's been cut off by the other artworks. Alright, so the next game up is... So we've moved away from the arcade now, we're going to home experiences from now on, although some of them may be influenced by arcade, and, you know, design philosophies. Yeah, so the next one is Onyanko Town, so... That's kind of a weird mixture of Japanese and English, where nyan is the sound that a cat makes. Ko is a diminutive denoting a child, so onyanko could be, you know, read as a kitten. And yeah, so what we've got here is a mother cat who is searching the town for her kitten who has, I guess, run away or something. But up till now, we've had semi-realistic animals, although I guess Kangaroo had some clothes, so and Pooyan did too. Anyway, well, for now, for this one, they're really leaning into the cartoony look, and you can actually see on the right. I'm going to move this for a second so you can see it better. But on the left middle is the box art for this game, and it's a lovely cartoony art style that I really appreciate. And you can see how there's both humans and animals very anthropomorphized and wearing clothes. Yeah, cool stuff. All right, so let's start the playing of this game, shall we? And if I... Yep, okay. So, yes, one player, that's me. So the sound is quite frantic. But yeah, there goes the little kitten off into the streets, and we can't have that, so the mother has to go chase down her little child and avoid the naughty dogs in overalls who will, I don't know, do something to you, probably something bad. And there's also cars to contend with, and these manhole covers, which we can interact with actually to stop our pursuers. How do I do that? Like this? And if we see here, yep, the dog falls in. So there's quite a level of complexity and interaction with your environment that's going on here. And yeah, we've also got some bonus pickups for points. So the kitten's not here. I don't actually know how to find the kitten whether it'll just be like running around. Didn't manage to get that manhole off. And the game has started lagging a bit as more and more dogs appear, but maybe we can trap them all in that manhole. No, they're not falling for it. Oh well, we'll scroll them off the screen. That should improve things a bit. Oops. Oops. Yep, I got gotted by the dog. So yeah, I like this image of the cat wearing a dress and an apron. It's pretty much leaning into that idea, that trope I mentioned earlier of animals having the mothering instinct and projecting it onto this sort of housewife image. So, what's this? There's a weird sprite here. A fish! Oh. Okay, so the cat can take a fish, and then the fishmonger comes out and is not happy with you, and will then attack you. So that's just another mechanic to deal with. And I think the fishmonger has an interaction with the dogs too. So yeah, it's interesting. This game is sort of taking the maze game style of Pac-Man and a lot of other games that were around at the time. By the way, this is a 1985 game. Oops, I thought I was running down, but I hadn't quite got there. Yeah, it's taking the maze game genre and really doing something interesting with it, I think, because, you know, it's adding all these interactive elements, but they all have context. Like, Pac-Man is really abstract. You're just in this weird screen collecting dots and running from ghosts, and you're just like a thing, a yellow circle. But here, everything is tied into the theme, and it all sort of makes sense, even if you have this sort of cartoon dogs interacting with humans thing that found the kitten. Alright, we've got the kitten. Now, once you have the kitten, it seems you move a little slower, so you actually have to be a bit more strategic with getting away from the dogs, using these manhole covers like so. There we go. But you also lose the ability to jump because you're holding on to the kitten. So yeah, it really changes the game and adds this second phase that's more dangerous. There's our home up there, but there's dogs all around. Maybe if we cut through the road we can get away from them. But I'll stop to grab this ring because shiny. Yes, got shiny. Okay. Oh, come on. Dogs are immune to cars? Are you trying to tell me that? That's ridiculous. Alright. If I cut through here, it looks like the dogs are no faster than me, thankfully. So, yeah. We've brought the kitten home! Hooray! Nice! That's lovely. Yeah, so I guess I was talking about this trope of the mothering instinct and how sometimes in media, like, the only role or a common role for female characters is to be the mother, and how female characters can get just reduced to this state. I remember a discussion on a Doctor Who podcast actually about, well, it was Verity, the sort of feminist-focused Doctor Who podcast that I listen to a lot. They're talking about how whenever there is a female villain on Doctor Who, like, it's common for the motivation of that character to be related to motherhood and protecting their species in some way. Alright, let's hit that manhole. Nope, didn't get it. So the dog got me. And how it can be just kind of a lazy writing trope. Female equals mother equals, you know, wanting to protect offspring. And how men are allowed to be more complex than that. So we've got 7 games here today that kind of illustrate that, how that trope has also affected video games. And it's kind of, I think, even more natural for when you've got an animal character to have that be part of their character, because it's a more obviously biological imperative in that case, and you see it in nature a lot. Okay, kitten's here. Oh, come on. No! Jump over the dog. Okay. Oh, this is really cutting it close. Alright, we'll go around. Oh, this game can get quite tense and frantic, which is not helped by the music, which just loops over and over again. Oh, it's doing my head in. Alright, so I do like the character design here. That cartoony aesthetic. But you've got kind of a realistic city that they're running through. It's nice. Okay, so I don't really... There was a thing with the fish. I don't remember that. It's sort of a trade-off, because the fishmonger comes out, but I don't remember what the fish does for you. But we've died, so that's game over. We'll have another go at it though. I'll talk about the developer. So this game was made by Micronix, who are one of, apparently, so I got a lot of information from, as usual, a Hardcore Gaming 101 article about this game, which is quite informative, as you'd expect. And it goes into the ideas of this being a maze game and advancing the genre, but that coming sort of too late, and the game industry sort of having moved on from that, and you know, the maze game being out of favor, so this game wasn't very successful. But yeah, according to that, Micronix is one of those developers like Toze or something like that, where they were a sort of work-for-hire company that made a lot of games for other people and not too many for themselves. And also their name didn't appear in a lot of the things they developed, so yeah, we didn't see it anywhere in this game. Well, the name we did see actually on the title screen was Pony Canyon, who I played one of their games the week before I did Attack Animal Gakuen. But yeah, they also published this one. But yeah, Micronix being this sort of shadow developer that is kind of secretive because they didn't really put their name out there so much. But this is actually one of their few original titles that they... Oh great, dogs on all sides. That was a no-win scenario. And no lives left. So yeah, this is one of their original titles, and I think they did a good job with the theme, and the gameplay is not bad either, so yeah, good on them. Of course, once we've kind of got a handle on all the mechanics at this point, I don't think they'll change much as we progress. Although I'm still not sure what the fishmonger does really, or what the advantage of the fish is. Points will probably get me extra lives at some point, I assume. Anyway, Micronix, they're around from, I think, 1980 something. This is one of their first titles in 85. But they changed their name to Chaos with a K in 93, but then seem to have disappeared by 96, a few years later. So yeah, this game... Yeah, like I said, this game wasn't that successful, and they were just doing a lot of poor jobs for other companies, so they were unable to keep themselves alive, apparently. Yeah, I don't know, that's all I had for them. Go! Yeah. Fall. Now, supposedly they're able to pull themselves out of those sewers after a while. Which reminds me, I did read that there were sewer snakes that show up later. So there will be some more elements added as we progress. So I wasn't quite accurate by saying that we'd seen everything that the game has to show us so far. Where is Kitten-chan? Where are you? Also, these nasty witches' hats. Yeah, I can jump over them, but when I get to kitten mode, I wouldn't be able to bypass that. Yeah, given saying the map is gigantic, yeah, it's actually pretty impressive. How big it is and how that kind of means you have to roam around quite a bit sometimes before you find where the kitten is. I'll see if there's a map or anything. I've only got a few buttons, so... Oh, yes, they are traffic cones, but in Australia we call traffic cones witches' hats because they're conical and they have that brim. So, yes. That's just the regional name for that particular item. You know, they're orange, you put them... When there's roadworks or construction going on, the tradespeople will put them out to prevent traffic from entering certain areas. Yes. Witches don't really wear bright orange hats, do they? It doesn't really make sense. Anyway, it's just the shape. Oh, there you go, there's the snake. So I guess they will pop out of the sewers sometimes if you open a manhole. Interesting. So actually, I don't know what changes as we progress because, as we've seen when we've restarted a few times, I think the layout has... Oh, right, I fell in the sewer after I opened it myself. That's a shame. But yeah, I think the layout has changed. Am I wrong in that? Or is it sort of semi-randomized? Or am I just bad at memorizing the layout? Because... Alright, we'll go to the bottom right and there should be a fishmonger there if it's the same. And there is. Okay, so I guess it's the same, but because it's so complex, I'm struggling to get a handle on it. Not that it really matters except for your immediate surroundings, I think. And the kitten's just going to be in a random place anyway. Pop over that. By the way, if I tap a direction, the mother cat will continue running in that direction. Oh no! I didn't think that through, did I? Yeah, I think it's the same layout. Let's do one more and try and rescue the kitten, I guess. But I do have a few more games to cover. I think I said there was 7. No, there's more than that. There's 8. And this is the 4th. So yeah, this is halfway. Once we get through this. Quickly happening upon our kitten. Come on, little one. No, don't come this way, you jerk dog. Ah! Oh, I see. I've had that problem before. There's a visible road, but the screen kind of cuts off right at that one tile before the edge. So I wasn't able to run along there and then go down. I was stopped at that border. Invisible walls, they've plagued games for many, many years. Also note how at the edges of the screen, especially the top and bottom, I think, you can see like incorrectly, or not incorrectly, but the graphics of the map are being drawn sort of strangely. That's, I mean, you probably know what that is, but it's sort of a common thing where TVs in the era had this overscan thing. You wouldn't see the whole picture that was being displayed because there'd be often sort of a physical border of your telly. And it's only in modern times when we've had these sort of reissues of old games that you can see the quote-unquote full screen. And even now, TVs have an overscan function that will cut off part of the border. But yeah, you would never have expected people to be able to see those very edges in the 80s, even through the 90s. So I think this is a different layout for the second level. we've got a different palette for the graphics, it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna grab this fish, and apart from my color changing, let's see if there's really any difference. While I've got that color on, can I pass through a dog? I can! So it gives me the strength to, yeah, knock down a dog and survive. But it doesn't last forever. See, it's wearing off now. But that's the advantage of the fish. Gives me that power. And I think it speeds me up too. Or has there just been more lag right now with all these dogs on screen? And one's popped in on top of the building. That's not supposed to happen. Kitty! Alright. Where did I start? I think it's to the left of here. No, don't come this way. Ah, yes. Hey, round 3, here we come. Good stuff. Man, this music is really awful. Notice the car driving up straight through all the houses on the right? I think that's another issue of the overscan feature there. That, like, whether that happens or not, a player shouldn't be able to see that according to the original design. No, I can't clear 2 blocks, only 1 at a time. Oh boy. I don't know how long I could stand this music. Yep, that was a mercy killing. One more. Alright, let's give it one go. Given saying that, he says, I feel like the music is what killed this game, and I think I agree. Because apart from that, yeah, it's not bad. The HD 101 article has kind of a harsh conclusion about how like the game doesn't really have staying power. Oh, okay, even with the fish invincibility, of course, the fishmonger is more powerful and is able to still damage me. Alright, so that's Onyanko Town. Yeah, cool little game. About a cat. So good to have some cat content there. Purdy hasn't bothered me on stream so far, but she sure was yelling at me a bit just before I started. I gave her so many laps and cuddles this morning, but some cats are just insatiable, you know. Alright, so our next game is called Bird Week, and let's flip over to that now. You can actually see the cover art for that on the bottom right. And it was only released in Japan, which is why it's got its title in Japanese there. But it says Bird Week. So Bird Week. Apparently, Bird Week is an actual sort of observance in Japan, where for a week of starting on May 10th, well, this is what I read in, again, the HG 101 article for this. Yeah, like it's nominated as the week where you celebrate the local, you know, official bird. So every, I guess, province or city is going to have its own, like, official bird, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think US states have this as well, and I think our states do too. What would our bird be? I don't know. I think the New South Wales one was the galah, possibly. No, that might be wrong. But anyway. Yeah, so this is Bird Week. I'm going to check out what that study game is exactly. Round 1. So, I think this is like supposed to be an edutainment game, where it's quite leisurely and it's supposed to be for younger audiences. I thought study game might be easier and not have enemies, but the hawk is still here. Yeah, it still kills me. So I don't know what the study game is. I don't know what the difference is. Oh well. I'll reset and I'll do the non-study game. Game start. Oh, by the way, this is 1986, made by Toshiba EMI, which was also known later as... oh no, that's somebody else. Sorry. I don't know who they are. Toshiba, they make appliances and stuff, but anyway, Lennar is the developer of the game. They aren't known for very much. They appear to be a just typical low output game developer of the 80s, I guess. So yeah, this is I saw it described as a life simulation game, but it certainly has a realistic kind of gameplay-ish, where it's not really cartoony in any way, and the tasks that you're doing are things that real animals would do in nature. So here we're a mother bird who just is trying to feed her babies and help them to grow, and contending with some nasty, it's a little circle of life, it's nature. Other birds are trying to eat me, and I have to avoid them, so I think I'm able to pick up this. Yep, here we go. I don't know how. I was mashing some buttons just now. Okay, so I have a mushroom. I can pick this up and then drop it. There we go. And knock out Hawk, who is trying to eat me. Now, I'm not sure how many birds in nature will pick up mushrooms and throw them at their predators, but yeah, there we go. So I was able to feed one of my baby chicks up to the point where it grew and left the nest. Isn't that nice? Like I said, the circle of life continues. You feed your baby enough and they will grow up and leave. And I'm now an empty nester, but there are phases. So here we see the season has changed, and I think we're in spring or summer or something, but yeah, our tree has changed its color. And we have a new enemy down here, some kind of jumping rat. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but I think I'll probably have to avoid it. And we'll catch some more butterflies for our babies. Come on. There we go. Whoopsie. Yeah, controlling is a little difficult, so I unfortunately ran into that. Now what's that? That's digging out of the ground down there? Like a mole or something? Yeah, if we don't keep our babies fed, they will die. That is a thing. That's a mechanic. But yeah, I gotta keep my own life safe too. The eternal question. There we go. We are ready for the baby as soon as it requested the food. Yeah, so this, I mentioned the HD 101 article about this. It was posted in a recurring feature called Your Weekly Kusoge. And Kusoge comes from a Japanese term meaning crap game, which is kind of not a subgenre, but like a designation for games that are recognized as being notably bad or laughably bad, or possibly celebrating how like bad they are. So kusogemu, you might see as a term thrown around in different places, but this game is apparently known as one of them because the gameplay loop is quite repetitive and there's not really much to the game. But I think what it does decently. It's just a matter of whether you're going to pay full retail price for a game like that. So, there's a lot more trees around now, and we've got a new kind of, probably enemy over there. A climbing mammal of some kind. Oh, it's going to jump from tree to tree. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. Oh! I'm glad I didn't get killed just now, but I don't really know what. Ah! Yeah, it's like a sugar glider or a flying squirrel or something, where it appears to have skin flaps to glide between trees. Now, does this screen scroll? Yeah, it does. So, just like Flicky, we've got a small playing area that smoothly scrolls and then shifts perspective in a way. It's really weird if you actually think about it, because what that means is that you're inside a quite small cylinder, and if you follow one direction, you'll pop out the other end really quickly. So your universe is basically just a few meters across, and is in the shape of a cylinder. It doesn't really make sense in the way our physical universe works, but it's just one of those things about video games. It's like in Final Fantasy or any other game like that with a world map. It's a giant square, but if you go off the top, you'll come out at the bottom. If you go off the side, you'll come out at the other side. And what that implies about the universe of those games, I'm going to rewind here because I want to at least pass this level to get to the next area and see what changes happen. Yeah, so the world of Final Fantasy or other games like that are what's called a torus, which is kind of a big donut shape, basically, which is the only thing that makes sense for that particular pattern of scrolling of the map. So imagine that you're kind of traveling around the outside of a donut. If you go up around it, you'll come out at the bottom. It's hard to explain, but I think if you picture that 3D shape, you'll maybe get an understanding of it. I don't know. You might need a diagram. Anyway, this might be a bonus round because we don't appear to have our babies around, and if I grab one of these flying fish, it just disappears straight away. But there's a nice lighthouse background, a nice ocean. So that was a good change. I like that. Glad I got to that stage. And yeah, that was, bonus round, I guess. So, round 4. This is different. So, I think, this is summer. It looks a bit more barren, I guess. So, I've got a woodpecker there. I wonder if... Yep, woodpecker kills me, so let's avoid that. In fact, let's drop a mushroom on it. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Get away from our babies. But that's the thing. You gotta balance the different activities you can do. You can safeguard your life and try and knock out some predators, but you also need to keep feeding your babies and catching prey. Task management. So what country has flying squirrels and woodpeckers? North America, right? The US or Canada? I don't know what that hawk is, but there's hawks everywhere. Asia might have woodpeckers too, actually. But I don't know about the other animals around here. But like I was saying, since it's sort of a realistic simulation of a bird's actual life, I am trying to figure out what particular habitat this represents. Yeah, dodged it. Luckily, the predators don't go after your babies, which is very unrealistic, actually. Because the babies are, vulnerable. They're often the first to get targeted by predators in actual nature. Yay, babies. We're having a lot of babies, and quickly too. If each one of these screens represents a different season, it's not really feasible. Because typically the life cycle of animals such as these follows a regular schedule. Anyway, maybe this all happens within 1 week. In which case, I don't know how I can explain the backgrounds changing. Oh, here we go. Many flowers. Yeah, we're getting actually a lot of variation as we continue. That's nice. But I think in terms of time, we probably should finish this up pretty soon. Got a few more to get to. Maybe I can try and get through this screen. But I'm impressed how much variation we've actually had so far. That does add some interest, even if the gameplay is quite similar between these realms. Of course, now we're contending with a woodpecker and a jumping shrew or whatever that is. Oops! There's a few marsupial mice that have jumping powers like a kangaroo, basically. Just tiny. They're very cute. Australia has some really cool animals. It's not all deadly predators that will kill you. In fact, those are quite rare. Like, at least we don't have any actual, like, large predators. We don't have bears or wolves, tigers, lions. Alright, that's the life of the bird. I think we're done there. So we're done with the nest now. That means we can move on to the next console. So the last 3 games that I have for us today are on the Commodore 64. So I'll just open that up. And yeah. Of course, most of the software made for the Commodore 64 comes... What? No, sorry. I opened the wrong application there. What's it called? Yeah, that's the one. Oh, now my mouse is disconnected. Ugh. The technical issues. Yeah, given saying that C64 emulation is always pesky. Well, my problem right then was that I just entered the wrong keyword to my application starter, which launched Xcode. Because this emulator is called Vice, but there's a lot of different application bundles that can be launched for it that do different things. But the only one I ever use is X64, which I believe means it's the 64-bit version of the emulator. Okay, so what are we doing first? Okay, so next one's another bird game, and it's called Bird Mother. Now I'll just switch over the thingy now that it's open in OBS. Where is it? That one. Hopefully that works. Looks good to me. So we'll just get that loading happening. And yeah, like I said, yes, Commodore 64, a lot of the developers for that were, of course, in the West, Europe, the UK, etc. First game here is Bird Mother. It's from 1984, and it was made by Andromeda Software, who was a British company. And what they're best known for, apparently... What's going on? Speed this up. It might just be a long loading. Yeah, it is. It often is. You just got to wait for Commodore games. They're reading things off floppy disks or cassette tapes. It takes a while. So yeah, Andromeda Software, as you can see there, and also published by Creative Sparks. The other name on the left there is Thorn EMI. Now, according to what I read, Thorn EMI was a company that changed its name to Creative Sparks. So there's a link there. So I don't know what that's about, but we've also got a developer credit, which is nice. Up there, P Balog, and P stands for PAL, P-A-L, and the A has an acute accent on it. Now, from what I searched, that is apparently a Hungarian name in origin, but he might be an expat or something who moved to Britain since Andromeda's based there, or they might have, outsourced it or whatever. Who knows? But we have that information at least. Pal Balog only has three credits total on Moby Games. But yeah, he did this one game all by himself. So let's try it out. Oops. Yep, I got hit straight away. So this is sort of similar to Bird Week, but we've got a single screen set up here. I've just lost one of my 3 lives. You can see a little icon in the top left of the screen that shows how many lives I have. But yeah, we're going through sort of a more detailed cycle of the bird life here, rather than just feeding our babies and having them grow up. We're actually starting here by building a nest, and to do that we have to avoid falling rocks and grab falling twigs. Now that's not really realistic. A bird probably would pick up twigs off the ground, and I don't know where these rocks are supposed to be coming from. Maybe there's some naughty children off screen who are throwing rocks at this bird, but yeah, I like the graphics here. The sort of bold colors are appealing, and It's a very Commodore 64 style game if you've played anything on the platform. And there's a nice little music track happening too, which I'm gonna guess it's a public domain song. I have no idea. Okay, so now that I've built my nest, I can drop some eggs into it and then hatch them. So there's a nice jingle there. Yeah, so, okay, so well, here's the next round. There's different gameplay phases. So now that I've built my nest, we're playing that bird week segment where we're feeding our babies. So we're going to catch some bugs and feed them to the chicks. Lovely. And there's a nice detailed little insect sprite there. Oh, okay. So we also have an old man who is taking a walk by the lakeside here and is carelessly throwing his cane into the air, apparently. And I have to dodge that. That's a nice quirky little obstacle for this level. Really fun. Alright. Oopsie. And you can also see the cover art for this game on the top right of the screen. Yeah, Bird Mother with the subtitle, "Life is a Struggle." Realistic there. But yeah, this is another very realistic kind of life simulation of a bird's life. Well, realistic in some ways, you know. Like I said, you're not going to have all these rocks falling from the screen or whatever, but I also like how the corners of the screen are rounded. Like, there's no reason for it to be like that, but it's just kind of fun. It's like you're watching a nature documentary on the TV. Yep, so there is the joystick button which opens the bird's mouth, as you can see here. You use that to pick up the twigs and pick up these bugs. You have to time your button press so that the bird's mouth opens on whatever you're trying to pick up. These are some hungry little birds, man. Am I doing it at the wrong time? Because I noticed the chicks are changing colour sometimes. Also, I like the background song here. I'll mention that again. Yeah, that didn't change the colour. Oh, maybe they're colour-coded. Is timing an aspect of this? Hang on. When the light blue... Yeah, there? I don't know. I don't know if that's a factor, because we've also got green and white bugs here, so I don't think I have to match them. I don't think so. Oh, Gibbon mentioning the shadow of the old man down there. He likes how much detail has gone into it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that is nice, isn't it? It's part of that attention to detail. Oh, there we go. What happened? Oh, did I die? Or did I pass? I appear to have left the screen. Oh, huh? Oh. I have no idea what happened, just I'm sorry. But you can actually fly off the screen a little way and then come back? That's kind of cool. The screen is not like the physical limits of the universe, like I was saying before. We're not in a little cylinder universe. You can't go too far off though. But it almost adds to that feeling like you're watching something happen. But the bird can sort of just come and go, you know. It's interesting. Oh, yeah. So the single color sprites aren't always the best because you can sometimes lose yourself a little or get a really clashing color combination that hurts your eyes. Dude, how hungry are these chicks? Can you hear the jingle, by the way? I don't want to, like, because I really do like this background music. I think it's really cool. Especially for this level. It's got a nice little jaunty theme with some different instruments coming into play, which is especially nice. I noticed the cover art also touts its fast loading cassette. Of course that was a concern. Like I said, when you're loading a Commodore 64 game, there's always a long wait at the start, which luckily we can speed up with emulation. Vice has a warp mode, which there's a separate panel that you can't see, but I've got a little thing showing what inputs are being pressed and with additional controls for like ejecting cassettes and stuff. And it also tells you what speed the game is running at, so we're at 99.5 right now at 50 FPS. But you can activate warp mode and get it to like 1300% emulation speed to get past those loading screens. Should this really be taking this long? I don't know. What is the task here? Surely I've fed these birds so much. Maybe that time's just supposed to run out. Unless that's going to be the end. Oh. I wasn't watching and I got hit by the cane. That's bad. Game over. What do I do now? I don't know. Oh, okay. I've gone back to the title screen. Well, I guess I'll try again. Hold on. Can I pause? I don't know if I can. Yeah, pause. Alright, I'm just going to look up because Moby Games actually had a detailed description of this game in particular, which described what you do in each phase of the game, and there's a few of them. So there's building the nest, feeding the chicks, and then flying, where you teach your chicks to fly. Let's see, once you've caught an insect, take it and place it in the mouth of one of the chicks whose mouth is open. If a chick has been fed, it keeps changing color, and once it turns white, then it doesn't need feeding anymore. So there is something to do with the colors and which one has its mouth open that I need to pay closer attention to, apparently. So let's try that this time and try and get to phase 3 where we can get our little chicks flying, go through that whole life cycle. I mean, Bird Week did have our chicks flying off, but it was sort of just the end state. This game makes that into part of the gameplay as well, so that's nice. I like that. So yeah, I did want to talk about Andromeda a bit. They're the people we saw at the title screen who I guess are the developer, although in these days, as I said, like there is one person who is the developer in this case, who is Palbalog. But anyway, Andromeda's there in the credits. They're a British company that did a lot of stuff for computers like the Commodore 64 and stuff. But what they're best known for is being a kind of liaison between the Soviet Union and the West. And in fact, they're known for bringing Tetris to the West and working with or selling that onto Tengen and Mirasoft apparently to make the first ports of Tetris. So yeah, they all start as blue, it looks like, and okay, yeah, I've given one when its mouth was open and it's changed to light blue, so that didn't work. So positioning, careful positioning is important, I guess. Let's just, no, that didn't work. And avoid the cane. Okay, we're gonna do it this time. Now that I understand the mechanics here. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright. Who's hungry? Yeah, you. Ah, it didn't work. I'm really... I don't understand. Okay, that worked that time. Okay. That didn't work. Okay, so all three are cyan. But the individual birds do have their own color states that are independent. We died. That death sequence is really long. Kind of adds to the impact. But I want to mention this tune once again because I really enjoy it. Okay, come on. Yes. Yellow. Surely white comes after yellow. No, missed it. Having trouble with this one. Perfect. Great. So yeah, you do need to be really careful about the position of that bug. It has to be right over the little bird's mouth. Now I don't know how realistic that is, because I know that part of bird physiology, at least in some species, is that the parent will partially digest food and then sort of regurgitate it into the mouths of their babies in what you might consider quite gross, but you know, it's all part of beautiful nature. Right, last white one. Come on, little third baby. Wonderful. Ah, that's a good feeling. We've raised 3 beautiful chicks to maturity. Although perhaps not full maturity, because we do have the next phase where they will now learn to fly. Okay. Oh, alright. So now we've got those predator birds to deal with. So the idea is here, you don't let your little birds fall. You have to usher them by sort of bumping them in the bottom so that they stay up in the air. Oops. What? Are they dead? Nope. Oh, they're resting on, like, parts that you could consider background elements, but I think one of my babies got eaten by that hawk. That's okay. There's 2 more. That's how nature works, right? You have a lot of babies because not all of them are going to survive. Yeah, it's resting on this tree branch. Oh, that's cute. Oh no! You naughty hawk. What's the goal here? Okay, forgive me. I will pause for a second. I'll go back to that page and read what it says. So, on Moby Games, the chicks are now fully grown and ready to leave the nest. They attempt to fly around the screen, but slowly fall towards the ground. You must keep bumping them upwards until they're able to fly themselves properly. A hawk flies at the top of the screen, so you have to be careful not to push the birds too high or they'll be taken away. So I think this might just be a timing thing. I notice we don't have a time bonus on this level. Oh, it's grown. Its sprite has changed to look just like mine. Oh. Nuts. Yeah, I didn't take any snapshots, so that's the end of the game. I didn't get to see a proper ending. The bird grew up. It became like almost adult sized like me, but then it was taken by the hawk at the last minute, I guess. It was too high up. Oh, that's too bad. Well, that's the circle of life. We've experienced it all now. But I think we're done with Bird Mother there. I really enjoyed that one, and unfortunately we didn't get to see an ending such as it was. But that's okay. We'll go to another game now. So, last bird game. We're going to play one called Beaky and the Egg Snatchers, which I prepared for, and you can actually see its cover art on the right side of the screen in the middle. Prominently touted fantasy software on the cover artwork there, and then underneath the name Beaky and the Egg Snatchers for 48K Spectrum. So I guess that's the ZX Spectrum cover art, not the Commodore one. Oh yeah, that's the cracking screen. We'll we can fast forward past that. This is again going to take a while to load. Yeah, so I prepared for this one because it was in the category. Sorry, I just noticed that in OBS, actually, the screen was not fully ambiguified. So I've just hopefully sized it up a little bit. Anyway, whatever. That didn't appear to change anything. Oh, it did. Okay, good. Yes. Cool. So, joystick 1. Right. So yeah, this is the Commodore 64 version. No sound? Maybe this one didn't have any sound. Oh, warp is still on. Sorry about that. Can I go back to normal speed? Yeah. Okay, so there are little sound effects as we fly around. So this is quite a high concept game. We're on an alien planet, and our player character here is a member of this species of Andromeda condors. And we have to stop aliens from stealing our eggs. And yeah, eggs being stolen is one of those tropes. And we have to stop that happening. What's that other... There's a Game & Watch game, I think, called Egg, maybe, where you're chicken. I don't remember what the original game is, but in Game & Watch Gallery 3, I think, there's like a modern upscaled version, or no, not upscaled, like a recreation with color graphics and stuff, where you play as Yoshi, who's protecting Yoshi eggs from what is it, grinders? Out of Magic. Yes, Fantasy Software 1984. Did I mention? Yeah, Bird Mother was 1984. This is also 1984. This is apparently a big year for mother animal games. So we're going to start again. We do have a magic meter in the bottom left. So not only are we like an alien bird who apparently wears a flight like cap and goggles according to the cover art, but we're also magic. And yeah, if an alien picks up an egg, it will drop down to the ground and then shatter with a nice little animation there. Yeah, that's happened a couple of times now. So yeah, we lose magic meter by running into aliens, so the magic protects us, but only so much. So I think it's just another way of saying health, really. But yeah, we also have this projectile attack, which is a kind of spit. According to the instructions on the back of the cassette, our protagonist here, Beaky, is actually spitting out seeds, so they've stocked themselves up with a bunch of seeds and are spitting them at aliens, which disrupts them. And if we run into an alien, our magic bar will drop, so yeah, it is just health. So I had all this prepared. This game's listed on Moby Games under the category of female protagonists, so I was like, oh, perfect. And of course it's about a bird protecting its young. It's in form of eggs this time. They haven't hatched yet. But yeah, but when I looked up that back of the cassette box, and the inlay actually as well, which has instructions for the game, I noticed that it actually used male pronouns for the character, so it was misfiled in Moby Games, probably because of people making the assumption, based on the premise, that you would be a mother protecting her eggs, but that's apparently not the case. We're just some kind of cosmic bird protector who is able to shoot seeds at aliens, and communally protecting some kind of egg stock that's just sitting out here on some kind of platforms. I don't know, it's weird. It's a game, whatever. So this game really doesn't count, and I shouldn't even be playing it because we don't have a heroine character here. Beaky is a male bird, but I had it prepared already before I found that detail out, so I will play it a little bit at least. But yeah, we have one more to do after this. And on top of that, the game is pretty simple. We've got the one screen. I mean, the graphics are kind of cute, and they have their own kind of low-res charm of just like, yeah, cheesy Commodore graphics in the background there. They're not like amazing, but they're fun anyway. And as Skibbon says, yeah, he says he likes the little walking animation, and I agree. Let's do that for a little bit. I'll go up to this platform. The flying animation is not bad either, but yeah, our Beaky character here is very cute, and that's a strength of the game, sure, absolutely. Oh, that's lovely. Yes. So Fantasy Software, who are the makers of this game, they only had a few titles to their name, at least the ones that were listed on the movie games. Apparently one of their most famous ones is called The Pyramid. It's kind of a shooter where you're in a pyramid, I don't know, whatever. Also on the Commodore 64. I noticed they also had a game called The Backpacker's Guide to the Universe, which is pretty clearly a rip-off of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But it has a similar kind of comedy sci-fi kind of thing going on, where you have a database of creatures and you have to use it to do something. I don't know, but it's also a platformer that looks quite a bit like Jetpack, the rare Ultimate like Spectrum game, although it seems to be a side-scroller instead of a single screen thing. So that looks pretty interesting, and there were lots of different screens showing pages from this database of alien creatures, and they were amusing and strange looking. But anyway, I don't know. I think I'm going to stop. Wait a minute. I'm yellow now. When did that happen? When did I become yellow? I was white before. Does that mean anything? This actually reminds me of Jetpack now that I think of it. Although I could shoot diagonally, which is nice. Anyway, we're going to finish this up and move on to our last game for today. Oh gosh, you could see it earlier. What I'll do, I'll just quit and then look on the left side of the screen, on the left bar, the upper right cover art there, for a game called Llama. And I'll get that running now. So if you know anything about development from this era and notable developers, you might pick up on the word llama in the title. And yes, this game is by Llama Soft, Jeff Minter's company. Jeff Minter is a very venerable developer, well known for making sort of ambitious games for home computer systems in this era, although he's continued into the modern day and even managed to segue this kind of aesthetic into modern games. So I remember playing recently on iOS a game called Goat Up, which is just a platform where you're a goat. And yeah, okay, so this is Mama Llama. It involves a mother llama who is caring for some little babies, but it's not that simple. You're also on an alien planet and you have to stop like flying yaks from killing them. Also there's a hamster called Rory or something, I don't know, it's pretty confusing. But we can see on the right there, Synergy by Jeff Minter. Oh, it's on the left as well, both sides. Press fire to begin, devised by Yak the Hairy. Warp time 2, regen 3, Sheila's 2, abort 6, generate 3, no goes 4. I have no idea what any of this means. So another thing about Jeff Minter games, I guess, is that sometimes they have overwhelming complexity. And I noticed that when testing this game, because we're going to see here a very large screen with many many panels. We can enter these as levels, or we can put retrogenesis or anti-genesis devices which govern the life rate of like alien organisms that are the enemy in this game, I think. And the color denotes how many aliens are there. But anyway, let's go to one before our timer runs out. I don't know what that does. And okay, on this screen, what does it say? Because they are so hairy. I don't know what that means. Below that it says the Inca homeworld. I don't know what, like, is. I guess this is another alien thing where, just like Beaky, where we're on an alien planet. G Sirius V Prime. Okay, so I am in control of the mother llama, but I'm also controlling that circle that's moving around the screen. Worry say no more. So yeah, Jeff Minter has this really quirky kind of sense of humor and style. And he's done a lot of games that use this graphical style, but like even up the intensity and the craziness. But also a common theme among a lot of his games is ungulates and animals of that kind. Some of the Llama Soft games that I picked out from their big list of their gamography are Sheep in Space, Attack of the Mutant Camels, Yak's Progress, Goat Up, and Space Giraffe. So there's a theme there. Oh, damn it. Yeah, you're right. I didn't change the game thingy over. Sorry about that. Oh well, you got to see that lovely cover art on the right, on the left for a bit longer. Huh, you know it should be displaying. What's wrong? Why aren't you displaying? It's probably because I quit and then came back. Okay. That's my little menu thing there. Alright, okay, that's working now. Sorry about that. So here's that screen again. Title screen, Mama Llama. Yeah, there's all this stuff about no-goes, the genesis of organisms, and it's all very confusing and I don't understand it at all. But anyway, we can see the little circling circle that's there. That's apparently a kill droid, and I control that as well as controlling the llama. I don't really understand, but you have to sort of maneuver the kill droid over the enemy yaks to take them out, to ensure the survival of your llama. I think that's the idea of this game, but there's seems to be so much more to it that I just don't understand. And I really should have read more instructions before starting, but hey, I had 8 games to play today, so whatever. Now we can see on the right, safe and danger. That tells you how many enemies are in those screens, but there's all these colors and I don't know what the scale is and what the difference is, what the logos mean. It's all very confusing, but anyway, we got a nice background here. Cycling through crazy colors. I've used the kill droid now to kill a few yaks, you can see. I've taken a few hits there. It's all quite fast paced. We have to stop the babies from getting hit, but the mama can also take a few hits. There's this 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bottom of the screen with arrows. I think that's showing you where the yaks are. Oh, I've lost a baby, that's too bad. Yeah, so I don't know what all these logos are. It's just crazy. Just pick one at random. So zap 19, abort 6. Okay, I've zapped a few more and the zap is down to 15. They turn into, what are they, love hearts or steaks or something? I don't know. I'm just holding down the fire button because I don't know if there's a limit to that. Oh, game over. Got some dancing hamsters for a bit. That's nice. And some dancing llamas to calm us down. So yeah, I really enjoyed Goat Up, which is really crazy and uses a lot of this sort of spectrum, color palette, cycling stuff. Don't know if it's available anymore though. Llamasoft also put out quite recently Polybius, which is a name with a lot of history. But their version of Polybius is a VR game with the trademark Jeff Minter visuals to give you a really trippy experience. Polybius, of course. Oh, something changed. Rory turned into Chippy, who is some kind of antelope standing upright. Cool. Well, I don't know what that means. So I'm going to go down here and pick... No, what I'm going to do is plant a Retro Genesis device. There we go. Isn't that lovely? So now I'm going to plant an anti-Genesis device on a square that might be on the danger scale, so towards brown. So maybe yellow is closer to brown, so let's do that. What's happening? Oh. No, how do I change that? It's in... Oh. Can I... Oh. Oh my goodness, what is going on? So I can rotate these or cycle them. Like a giant puzzle game. Do I have to line them up? I don't know. I am really, like, over my head here. I feel like when I played Mule that one time, remember that? That was just weird. Yeah, I should have read some instructions, but like I said, 8 games to play. I didn't know it would be this complex. But I noticed the timer on the right is going slower, maybe because of my anti-Genesis device. Boyo, boyo, boyo. Oh yeah, and Gibbon says that font is really hard to read as well. I agree with that too. Alright, let's go back to another level and see if we can... And now it says Jet Set Rory at the bottom, which is a reference to Jet Set Willy, a very successful game on the Spectrum and such. And yeah, we got a new background here. What does it say? Yak the Hairy. Jeff Minter. I love it. So yeah, it's a sort of an Egyptian pyramids thing going on there. I can jump, I can walk backwards and forwards, and as long as I'm holding the fire button, the kill droid is activated. But I haven't seen any enemies here. There was something around the top of the screen. There, what's that? Oh, it's gone. What is that? I have no idea what just happened. This game is incredible, but also very confusing. Anyway, yeah, Polybius has an interesting history. The name is sort of an urban legend, and the tale goes that the FBI were developing an arcade game as part of experiments into human psychology, and they only, like, it was never publicly released, but people claim to have played it or seen people playing it, and the results were the players sort of going mad or having some kind of psychological effect similar to taking drugs or being brainwashed or something. And the idea was that just the visuals, the flashing lights, the sounds that the machine was putting out had some kind of fundamental effect on the human psyche. And the FBI were using this. I think it's linked to MK Ultra, that whole thing. Yeah, so what is this? There's something here. Some kind of coiling particle effect. Oh, is that a camel sprite that's just moving around and stuff? I have no idea. Now it's flashing and one of my babies got killed. Dude, this game is blowing my mind. I just have no idea what's going on. Okay, so a red space. I'm going to put a Retro Genesis device there. Go! No, but it only affects this space, seemingly. This one that's flashing, and I don't know how to change that. Oh, maybe I can move this one over there. If I do this, hold on. Yeah, so if I do that and then put it down, and then that logo changes, so that's kind of the active space, and I move things so that they're there. So what happens if I go to that space? So this one has a Retro Genesis. Oh, okay. I can't go there. So I tried pressing F1 and it didn't work. So what if I press F5? There's an anti-genesis, and can I go there? No, I can't. So I can't visit any space where I've put one of those devices, but I don't know what they do. So let's go to, I don't know, this space. Ah, I see. So it's not what I'm pointing to that is the space that I go to. Again, it's that flashing square that is the only thing I can interact with. So F1 will make me go there, F3 will, or F5 will put a device there. So if I cycle that to something else, maybe a circle, and go there, I wonder if I got a different background. Okay, we've got a different message here that says zoo look, and yeah, it is a different background. Plenty of cycling colors and strange imagery, but there's some nice mountains in the background. Okay, great. What about the llama logo? Rory say all things rotate. Wow, thanks for that, Rory. And yeah, completely, I have no idea what's going on. the colors, says Gibbon. All right, let's go to one of each of those symbols because they appear to change what appears in the level. Oh, okay, yak. And then it changes things. I'm so confused. All right, let's do it. So circle, we've seen that because they are so hairy. And we've got this background. See, this is the one. This is the only kind of screen that I've understood so far. There are yaks that are attacking me, and my kill droid can stop them. Apart from that, I have no idea what is expected of me. All right, so musical note. Let's go there. No message at the bottom, and a very abstract background with camel sprites and 106. There's little guitars, musical notes, and yeah, strange structures that I do not understand. And it says Rock City in Flying V system, G heavy. So the gravity's heavy, which means when I jump, I fall down much faster. Wow. Cool. Alright, so now this little building icon. Moon Colony 2310 AD. Gravity Lunar Standard. Now my jumps are much longer. Oh, what's that? Inca Cola. And a little spaceman in the background there. 4 spaceman. I seem to have lost all my babies due to unforeseen attacks. But, ooh, what does that say? Goats. I love it. It's so crazy. The colors are just, yeah, absurd. Okay, can I go somewhere else now? Notice the parallax scrolling, by the way. Oh yeah, there's my game over. Given saying this is about as trippy as Dagyakushu, meaning, oh, Beastie, meaning Donkey Kong 3 Dagyakushu, the sequel to Donkey Kong 3 that was put out on PC-88, PC-98, Sharp X1 from memory. Oh yeah, the Inca Homeworld G-Series V Prime. I've been here a few times now. I just wanted to remind myself what that was. But we want to check out all the different things if we can. I've taken a few hits and my bar is being reduced. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 on that upper bar on the bottom. And I think 1 is my health and 2 and 3 are the baby's healths. That's not a word. Alright, so we've seen the building and the note. Let's go to Camel Land. Ancient Egyptian city, G Earth normal. Or G Earth normal. So this is normal gravity for Earth. Jet Set Rory. So we have seen this one before. I've died. I think this is probably trippier than Donkey Kong 3 Dagyakushu. Okay, what can we go to next? The little llama symbol. The Inca City, Grav Earth Normal. So it's similar. I think I might have seen this before, but yeah, we got flying eyeballs that turned into a llama symbol. That might be a graphical error, I'm not sure. But yeah, we've got a lot of triangles in the geography, the architecture. Inca Cola, see that name again? Interesting. Oh, and Evil Eyes, the caption for this area, I guess. Oh yeah, because I was being attacked by flying eyeballs. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's just so crazy. Like the combination of visuals and just weird things happening and the off-kilter, quirky text. Yeah, it's cool, man. Okay, what's happening? Oh, poor llama. Oh, and that's it. So there's 5 different types of levels, it looks like, because we're back to the circle. Oh, well, time's come up, I think, and I think I've seen all the backgrounds. I don't understand anything of the mechanics of this game, but at least we've seen some of it. Now we're going to see what happens when the time runs out, and we're going to be done, and that's going to be the stream for today. On mother animals and their roles as protectors of the next generation. Oh, when time runs out is game over. Thank you, Rory. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Been a bit of a roller coaster, but yeah, I've had fun. I liked Onyanko Town and Bird Mother the best, I think. Kangaroo wasn't bad. And this game is just insane. You gotta appreciate the the sheer llama-ness of it all. But yeah, thanks for joining me. This is a stream I really wanted to do for a long time now. The mother animals has a sort of female character role, but yeah, I knew there were a few gems in here to look at. And yeah, thanks for joining me. This was good to get out of the way. But next week is the last stream of the year, because after that I'll be out of town for the holidays. So I don't know, it might be a big finale crazy thing, or it might just be just another game, just a normal thing. Probably the second one. But anyway, that's then, this is now. Thanks for joining me today. I had fun, hope you did too. So see you next time. Bye bye.